Alrighty, guys. So, give me 1 second here. So, today we are showing you how to create a monk, which is going to actually be my main character here. And I'm going to show you guys how to do the Bandit raid farm. So, the best advice I can give you is you want to start off by not picking up any quest. You're just going to run down here and go straight out this portal. We are going to do our bonus weapons, and we are going to pull up our inventory bags there. For now, we're going to equip the bow. And we're going to drop... Okay, we can't drop the bonus weapons. We have to delete those. We will keep our staff, though, and I'll explain that in a minute. Alright, so that's how we're going to get started there. Once we get started on the Bandit raid farm, I'm going to be fast forwarding the video quite a bit, so at that point you will not have any audio and you can safely mute the stream. Or the video, my apologies. We talked to Gwen. We'll take Gwen back. Now, what I am showing you may or may not be the best way, but it is the way that I prefer to do this, especially when you start off as a monk, because it's a very quick way that we are able to gain experience. This is the only quest that you will turn in. I do believe that the Bandit raid quest is a level 2 quest, but we are going to go up and check. We go to talk to this Baron guy here. Okay, cool. So we are able to grab that pretty much right away. But one of those things, you don't want to do it, don't want to turn it in. We just go straight back out and we're going to take an immediate right here. And at this point, we'll go ahead and equip our staff and turn off our bags. We're not worrying about killing anything right now. We just want to run right past whatever we can just to quickly get this done. So we will go right into this portal here into Green Hills County. And at this point we will talk to the protector guy. We grab this quest and then we just resign. Again, one of those quests that we are not going to worry about doing right away. And then we'll go right back out and we head straight ahead now. See, if you weren't trying to be so quick about getting set up here, you could also go over here and get rid of a lot of these scales until you get 5 scale pins. You could take that 5 scale pins to a collector right outside the portal and get a belt pouch for 5 more inventory slots. We will pick up this red iris flower. And we go to Regent Valley here. We'll go into the outpost and pick up the remaining monk quests that we need, but we won't worry about doing them. You will hear me say that a whole lot, by the way, and the reason is it's important not to do any quests at all until you know what you are going to be doing with your character. For example, I might use this character to make other farming videos in Presearing here. So if I am going to be farming in Presearing, there are certain quests that allow more drops if you have them active and whatnot, and that's why it's important. So we have our monk skills. These are all the monk skills that you will get in Presearing prophecies. Now we are going to go and get the Phobos or Phobos Fair outpost, and then we want to go ahead and grab our elementalist skills without becoming an actual elementalist. Now, this is the exception I make. We do get rid of these ice elementals, and that's because icy lodestones are really hard to actually farm out in this game. They're annoying as nothing else. And it's just on the off chance that we get 3. I'm not gonna go out of our way to farm the 3 for the armor upgrade. Because for this particular farm, you don't need the upgrade at all. But it also gives us a tiny bit of experience. We're not even going to worry about completing this quest or even doing it right now. We're just gonna grab it. And we're gonna go to Ashford Abbey. At this point, we are going to set up our skills, and I will link our the build that I use for this. It's also found on PVX. So basically, all you need is your smiting and your protection prayer attributes. So we would make sure it's healing breeze, shield in the hand, symbol of wrath, and then firestorm, horizon of healing, banish. Yep, that's exactly how we want it right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our first run. I'm gonna see how we do. So the big thing is we do not want to aggro that wolf, because it just will slow us down. We do want our imp, but we're gonna wait until we get right here. We'll use symbol of wrath when they all jump on us. Typically, if you can run right here, it's better. And of course, the Strider gets aggroed. We're gonna minimize this. But we'll try and do one more run clean way, and then we'll start fast forwarding after that run, because I want to see how many runs we do before, or how long it might take before we get possibly a black die drop. Alright, let's get back out there. But now we know to pull a little bit further down to the side of the rock where they all get stuck on us. Now we summon the imp. Make sure they're all on us, and we'll use Symbol of Wrath. And then Firestorm. We just make sure we keep up our healing, our shield, and we just wand them the rest of the way. And obviously when Firestorm and Wrath come up, we want to do those. And I typically will just loot everything. But at this point, guys, we will go ahead and do fast forward on the rest. So let's go ahead and get going here. Alrighty guys, so that's the conclusion of our fast forwarding, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to explain a couple of fine details here before we conclude our video. And if you click on the link that's going to be in the video description, there is a brief paragraph right above the build that says this build has only 9 attribute points total, and the reason being that it is the highest that you will be able to reach just by doing this farm. So that being said, my suggestion would be I think it's either level 8 or level 9, you're unable to get any experience from this. I would suggest picking up the Char at the Gate quest in Ascalon. You would end up talking to Prince Rurik, and I will make another video on that quest. I personally do not like to grind that quest from 2 to 10, but it is the best, it's technically the fastest and the best way to level without dying. I prefer to level the bandit raid with a monk or even with an elementalist primary. But if you run an elementalist primary, you will have to select your secondary and whatnot, and it's a pain to set up as far as you would want to go to each secondary profession, do the quest, but don't turn them in, so that when you got to the monk, you could do it and turn it in to become a monk, and then you would go back and pick up that monk quest in the first area where we went. So there's that. And for this particular build, for this particular farm, as you can see, we're easily able to run it now. I would make a minor adjustment to make sure you cast that before you get too close. And don't summon your imp until they ball up, because as I found out earlier, is if you summon your imp too early, they will go to your imp and it messes up your ball. So I like to do it like this, where I come over here and I will use Symbol of Wrath and summon my imp at the same time, and then I do the Firestorm. And then you just type in resign in the chat, and voila, that was a successful run. Alrighty guys, that does conclude our video. I appreciate you guys coming by. I would encourage you to leave me a comment or a suggestion on future videos. I do want to point out, guys, that my channel is strongly about mental health awareness, and being naturally deaf of my own, I've had a lot of struggles in my life that have caused me to fight with anxiety and depression. I've lost family due to suicides, and I take mental health awareness very seriously. And this backdrop here is for everybody out there that is struggling so that you know that you will get through it.